The internet can be an awesome place, and it's because of the internet we have this next video. Recently on Twitter, I saw a picture of Baylan's skull that got me thinking. It was this image here that zoomed in on Baylan's watch, and someone took the time to translate all of the Arabic, and we found out it's a list. But what is that list for? The list ended up being Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2-D2, C-3PO, and Ben. And we're assuming that this means Ben, who would eventually become Kylo Ren.
Blow that piece of junk out of the sky! We're still holding on! Let go!
Now this got me thinking, and my first question in my brain was, is this a big nothing just like the Maroc tease? I don't think so. I think there's something here. The possibility is it could still just be a cool Easter egg that someone hid into the scene, but it could also be something a lot more. I think it has something to do with the Heir to the Empire movie that Dave Filoni is making, and it's all weaving and leading toward that end. Now in Ahsoka, we have had two characters that everyone unanimously loves, and that's Baylan and Shin. Everyone I've talked to and seen has loved these characters, from the opening scene to see them wrecking shop with their orange lightsabers, going crazy, to understanding that they're not really Jedi, but they're not Sith. They're these dark Jedi, that Baylan is one who's escaped Order 66, has fond memories of the Jedi, but has major issues with them. All of those things, the new storylines, the intrigue, the fighting kind of between them and Thrawn and Morgan, they're not on the same page. They're doing their own thing. And Baylan in this latest episode letting us know that that's to go get this greater power because he wants to stop the infighting between the dark and the light. He wants to do away with all of that. No more Sith, no more Jedi. It's been ruining the galaxy in his opinion. Now, every scene that Ray Stevenson has been in, he has been a commanding presence in that scene. From the fights to the dialogue to just him looking off into the distance, there's just a gravitas that comes with him on the screen. And in the same way as that, we see Shin Hati almost like that crazy girlfriend who we're all afraid to break up with because we know she would key our cars, slash our tires, but somehow we just still love her. And because of those two amazing characters, I think there's something more going on here. And it's not to build off to their own spin-off. It's not to give them their own show, but there's something huge that's about to happen. I think Baylan's skull is going to die. And as a result of that, Shin is going to take up the mantle to finish the quest that Baylan has started. And here is where it gets interesting. What is that quest? Well, that quest I think involves with killing everyone on that list. Why? Why would Baylan want to kill and wipe out all of those original trilogy characters? Well, what does he want to get rid of? He doesn't want to see a new Jedi Order come up. And what is Luke doing right now? He's trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. What is Leia and Han doing? They're trying to stabilize the New Republic and give us space for the Jedi to grow back up into. And unfortunately, R2-D2, C-3PO, and Chewie become casualties of all of that as well, and especially little Ben Solo. So in all of that, we have a desire to wipe all these things from the face of the galaxy. And in a fit of rage and anger because of the death of Baylan, Shin continues that quest to kind of pay homage to the legacy of who we think is her father. But there's a major flaw that ends up happening in that pursuit of going after Luke first. Something happens. It doesn't go according to plan, and she ends up actually having to team up with Luke to maybe take care of Thrawn or something else along the way. And her plan is always to backstab and get back to Luke, but instead they fall in love. This is just like what is taken from the EU and the story of Mara Jade, but instead it's Shin Hati, and maybe she name changes or does something different after this whole Baylan thing, or she stays with this name and just becomes that love interest for Luke. And that whole storyline gets looked at and walked through in Heir to the Empire, the movie that Dave Filoni is working on. What do you think about that? Is that just far too crazy? You're probably thinking that's never going to happen. But what if it does? Honestly, I just want to see more Baylan and Shin. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. Let me know what you think down below. And if you love theory videos like this, check out this video right here where I go through my theories of what I think would happen if George Lucas had never sold to Disney, the good and the bad. I'll see you over on that video. Remember, the Force will be with you always.